Hey everybody, Brian here, Predator Solutions again. Today we're going to talk about pellets and all the different shapes and sizes and what has worked for me. There's lots and lots of different manufacturers of pellets, different shapes, grains, or weights, and some of them work better than others. Now, pellets are designed by your, let's say, your top manufacturers to be shot between 880 feet per second and 920 feet per second. So like somewhere in there is where you'll find your at least the most power you're gonna get out of them before they start doing weird things. And then your twist rates having a little bit of effect on that too. Usually airgun barrels have like a 1 in 20, 1 in 17, maybe all the way up to 1 in 24 rate of twist. So it's a real slow rate of twist. That means it's one revolution of rifling per that 17 inches or 24 inches or whatever your gun might be. I don't know, you probably can't see it over here. I have a lot of different pellets. Probably talk about the ones that do not work so great. Not picking on the brand here, but pointed pellets, in my experience, have been the worst. They don't fly very good at all, in my opinion. And you know, I have a few of them, but I don't use them because they're terrible, really. I don't like them. And maybe I'm a little finicky. For example, here's the target that I shoot at, especially when I'm testing all these little circles. See how small they are? I try, if you look at the back of this card, there's where I had shot one round. But I try to get, and this is at you know, 25 or 30 yards. I try to be at least touching the black in every one of them circles. And I mean, I shoot 100 rounds in that one sheet of paper right there. What else doesn't fly so great in my experience? A lot of Gamma pellets don't. I don't even use them. I mean, I have some, but I don't use them. These Crosman Premiers domes. If you open it up, look at the pellet, you'll see where the two halves of the mold came together and there's a seam. I don't know if it's the seam that makes them not fly so well. I mean, they're good to like 20 yards maybe, but after that, not so great. These Premier Destroyers, and I'm not picking on any brands because I do have some Crosman Premier pellets that work great. These Destroyers, they don't work so great. Not in any of my guns anyways. These wad cutters, Premier wad cutters, they actually shoot pretty good. Although they're not a pellet you're going to shoot at any distance, but a couple of my guns will shoot these at 20 yards like pretty dang accurately. Being the flat front on them, they do slow down really fast, so you lose a lot of energy really fast. But you know, if you shoot a bird or 20 yards or something, you're gonna kill it. It pretty deadly. What else? These H&N pellets with this big giant hollow point in the front. I've never been able to get these fly very good. These Barracuda Hunters, a little bit better than the Crow Magnums, but I won't use them. They don't shoot very good for me. What else? These H&N, what are these Field Target Trophy pellets? They got like a really big head on them. I don't know why. You would think these would shoot okay, but they're not great in my opinion. I mean, maybe they're okay, but they're not great. these long pellets. Now these are heavy too. These are almost 15 grain and 22 caliber. I think these are 22. I believe they're 22 caliber, but maybe they're not. No, I'm sorry, they're 177 caliber. But they're a really long pellet, and I have some JSB pellets that are similar to this that fly okay. These, for whatever reason, maybe it's just the diameter of them that don't work in my guns. They might work in yours, but not mine. So there's another pellet similar to that one, JSB. Now these shoot pretty good, but the only problem I find with these is I get a lot of damaged pellets because the skirt back here is so thin that, in fact, that one's got a dent in it right there. Probably find a bunch of them. So they shoot pretty good. Sometimes your barrel, or as you shoot, it'll straighten that bend out. Sometimes not. So you get a couple flyers with these, but they're really not too bad. I have another pellet that I really like shooting, but also have a lot of bent skirts, and that's a JSB pellet. In fact, I mean, I tinker, like when I'm just goofing around shooting at my all my targets out here from 20 to 30 yards. I'll use these bent skirt pellets, but these are all bent skirt pellets. But when I hunt, I'll pick through all the pellets and get the bent ones out of there and make sure I have nice, good pellets to hunt with. But these are very accurate. As you'll see, I have a lot of them. These are all different though, different weights. These are all 22 caliber, I believe. So they make these in 13.43 grain, 14.35 grain, 15.89 grain, and an 18.13 grain. All of these shoot pretty good. If you tune your gun to that 880, 920 feet per second, and if you really want to make sure you have a good shot, you pick out whatever bent skirts out of there. These are going to shoot really good. Also, JSB makes a redesign pellet. So it's the same as this this long pellet that we talked about that has a thin skirt. But if you look at the shape of these two pellets, they're different. They're the same weight. But this is the redesign with the longer taper. These shoot really good. In fact, both of these pellets you could shoot, man, I haven't tested them over like 950, 960 feet per second, but they're still accurate. They don't start spiraling, and they shoot really good, even at faster speeds. I don't know if it's must have something to do with the long body on them, but they shoot really good. You know what? Umrex pellets. I have these in 177. One of my guns absolutely loves these. These pellets shoot better in that gun than anything else. And now that's a 10 pump gun. That gun also, that's a wad cutter. You can see the shape on there. It's a wad cutter. That gun also likes these Barracuda Extremes, Extreme Hunters, or Hunter Extremes. And I'll use these for for hunting, because they travel a little further without dropping so much velocity. They have a little bit of a round face, but that little X in the top of the pellet, that really helps with expansion, and you can tell the difference. Like when you hit something, there's a whop compared to like a dome-shaped pellet. Now I'm gonna talk about this Crosman pellet. I kind of said some bad things about the other Crosman pellets, but this Crosman pellet, for some reason, It doesn't have that seam on the side of it, and these shoot in a lot of my guns, both 177 and 22 caliber, pretty dang good. I'd say better in the 22 caliber, but they shoot pretty good in some of my guns in 177 also. So this is another hunting pellet. This is a 22 caliber, 15.89 grain. This is made by JSB, same company that makes these here. And you can see the shape similar to these H&Ns, and these put a good whop on whatever you're shooting at too. You can hear that, and they make pretty good sized hole. They have good expansion for pest control. These poly mags, I've shot these in 22 and 177. They do shoot pretty accurate. I don't know if you can see, but they have like a little plastic tip, and these are 177, so they're really small. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little plastic tip on there, similar to you know, a rifle cartridge that has a ballistic tip on it, and that aids in expansion. Now these are pretty light. These are 8 grain in 177. They make them in 22. I had them in 22, but I shot them all. I didn't have anything to show you. They shot okay. Now H&N makes like 2 different pointed pellets. Those don't shoot good on any of my guns. Gammo makes one. I think it's called a Gammo Red. Those don't shoot so great. And now I'm talking beyond 20 yards. I mean, you can have a decent group with a lot of pellets under 20 yards or at 20 yards, but when you start getting over that 20 yards, you're going to find out what flies good and what does not. So, you know, I don't want to just go on and on about pellets. That's like my experience real quick. So help you guide what to buy for yourself. Now, where to buy these pellets, right? I mean, you can go on Amazon, you can order them off Amazon. You could go to Walmart, but you're probably going to find a lot of Gammo pellets at Walmart. You're not going to find JSB or H&N or some of the other manufacturers. You know, Myers or whatever big stores are near you, Cabela's even, they're not going to have the JSBs, H&N, some of the other brands. They're going to have the Gammo and, you know, and that kind of stuff. So where do you buy your air guns and air gun supplies and ammo? There's a few places. There's Airgun Depot, Pyramid Air, Arizona Airgun, or Airguns of Arizona, Utah Airguns. Now, I buy most of my stuff from either Utah Airguns or Airguns of Arizona. I'm not saying anything bad about the other places, but that's where I've had really good experience, so that's where I go. A lot of times you can find pellets, buy 4, get 1 free. And really these Premier pellets are just as cheap if you go to these stores that deal in air guns and air gun supplies than if you were to go buy, you know, Gammo pellets at Walmart or Cabela's or wherever. And in fact, they're going to be cheaper. A lot of these tins have 500 rounds of pellets. There's 500 in most of these. You know, you go to Walmart, you get 100 or 200 for 15 bucks. These are 500 for 15 bucks. And then if you buy 4, at some of the places, you get a 5th one free, which pays for your shipping. So that makes it, you know, that evens that out. You know, you don't have to listen to, I mean, you don't have to listen to me, obviously, but it depends what you're going to do. If you're just going to plink in your backyard, and you're going to shoot pop cans or, you know, whatever, paper targets with maybe a different shape or animal drawn on there. You could probably use any pellet and have a lot of fun. But when you're like me and I'm doing pest control, I want to be very accurate, and I test my guns. I'm shooting at these tiny little circles. So that's what I'm calling accurate. Your definition of accurate might be different than mine, because you're going to use whatever works for you. This is what works for me, so that's why I use what I use. I just thought I would share my information. I have a lot more pellets than even what I have here. These are just like 177 caliber pellets that are a lot of the same of what I showed you over here. But to keep the video short, I think we'll end it there. Do yourself a favor. If you're looking at air guns, you can look on Amazon. Amazon has some stuff. They sell pellets and they sell JSB and H&N, and sometimes I do buy them from there. But do yourself a favor. Go on these other websites like Utah Air. Utah Air is a great place, great people, great support. Arizona, Airguns of Arizona, same thing. I bought a gun from them. They shipped it to me, and we all know how the shipping companies are. The case, so the gun came in a case. The case was damaged. Like somebody threw the gun, and the gun slid in the case and busted the end of the case. I believe one of the people from Airguns of Arizona shipped me a case out of their own collection to replace mine. Now, is that cool or what? I mean, they took care of me. So I'm going to go back there. Sometimes I call and I ask questions about availability of this or that, and I talk to the people. They're very friendly, very helpful. If you have tuning questions, you buy a gun from Utah Air, they'll tune the gun for you so you don't have to. If you just want to shoot it, take it out of the box, put some ammo in it. When you order it and you talk to them, you tell them what you want to do, they'll be like, we're going to put tune it for this pellet, and when you get it, you put that pellet in and you go out and shoot it. If you want to put the scope on it yourself, that's fine. If you want them to put the scope on it, they'll do that. They'll sight it in for you, whatever you want. There's very little, if any, charge. It depends what they do. If they scope your gun, I believe there's a little charge. But for them to shoot it and tune it, there's no charge. And they'll even send you a target with, a 5-shot group or whatever they shoot. They'll list the speeds of those shots, and you'll see how consistent your gun is at shooting the same velocity. They're very good. I'm not sure if Pyramid Air does that or Airgun Depot. I have looked on their websites, but because I started dealing with Utah Air and Airguns of Arizona, those are the companies that I go to because I had good experiences. So I'm gonna stop talking now because I could keep going, but I hope this is helpful. There's lots of projectiles out there to shoot and test, and if you want to do that, or you just have them help you out, make that decision, order your gun, get it. Well, you probably need a compressor, some way to pump it up. You fill your gun and you go out and have fun. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe button. That really helps us out. We do this for free on our dime, our time. It takes a lot of time, effort to make these videos and edit them and put them up and deal with YouTube. And sometimes they, want to take your stuff down or give you issues where it takes a little bit longer to get them out. So do us a favor and hit that subscribe button so you can see the rest of our videos. There's going to be a series, like probably another video or two, and then you can watch our hunting videos and see what we're doing with our air guns and other things. We do a lot of coyote hunting too. So, all right, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.